So I wanted to talk to you a little bit today about life and housing, and how that makes you successful, or if it even does. So ever since I was a little kid, since I was born until I was 16 years old, my dad was in the military, and we moved all the time. We moved constantly, and I lived in houses, townhomes, apartments, all that jazz, and I didn't really mind the areas I lived. I cared about when I moved and moving away from my families, but the living situation itself didn't really bother me too much. So as I got older, I lived in an apartment, numerous apartments, houses, renting homes, renting a room in a house. And then, so in 2013, I lived in my friend's closet for a majority of the year, and it wasn't bad. It wasn't a bad experience. I had enough space for myself. I didn't do everything in there. I still washed my face. I still showered in the bathroom. I could make food in the kitchen, and it was fine. And then 3 months before leaving that place, my boyfriend moved in, so there was two of us living in that tiny closet, and that closet had, to give you some perspective, had her dresser, a pretty long dresser, inside of it, and we still had space to sleep. And we had our little Tempur-Pedic mattress on the ground, and I worked and I slept in that spot. And I liked it. It was a good space. It was nice. Yes, it got cramped, and I at times would get frustrated, but it wasn't the most terrible situation I could have lived in. And I wouldn't even put it in the top 5 most terrible situations. There have definitely been worse. I think it's also about perception on where you are, because some people would consider that hell, the fact that they had to live in a freaking closet. So then after that, me and my boyfriend moved into an apartment, and it was nice. It was a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom. We had a bathroom actually in our room because we had the bigger room, but that didn't ultimately work out. And then I left and got started living at a co-op, which I absolutely love. But I'm also still with my boyfriend, and he has a van, or we have a van. And so the van is kind of one of the biggest things I wanted to talk about, or just pretty much any alternative source of living. A lot of people, if you live in something that's different than an apartment or a house, they'll look at you very strange, or they'll look at you sad, or talk to you as if I'm sorry that you live in this situation, and it's, I'm sure for some don't want to live in that, but for still a good chunk, they're in that situation because they want to be in that situation. We have a van because we wanted a van, and we are altering our van because we want it to be something that we can live in. So right now, we have the bed, we have a table, we have storage underneath, we have a battery, we have a solar panel, we're able to get electricity. And no, at this point, right now, we do not have a way to cook per se, because we do have a propane tank, which we can cook in, but, we can't cook just whenever we feel like it, and we can't shower. But pretty much everything else we can do, and I really enjoy it, and I like it. I like being able to stealth camp in cities and go to a different place and just be like, well, let's just post up here, and we're not very obvious that we're living in this. There's only 2 of us, and we'll stay in it. And I think that a lot of people, I know that many people have this perception of, you're not doing very well in life if you don't have a traditional apartment or a traditional home. And we grow up in this country. If you've grown up in the United States, we grow up with our families saying that we should have these certain things. We should live a certain way. At this age, you should have an apartment. At this age, you should have this. I can't have an apartment. I mean, I live in a co-op right now. I've had an apartment, but it's not what I choose. It's not what I want. It's not what I want for myself right now. So it's all about perspective. I think that you need to look at the person and also look at the situation, and then also think that, or possibly wrap your head around the fact that not everybody wants the same thing in life, So we may not all want the house, with our family. And it's fine. It's beautiful if you do, good for you. But not everybody wants that. Not everybody wants an apartment. Not everybody wants that. I love that this revolution of tiny homes has been breaking through, because it's wonderful. These tiny homes are little tiny apartments that sometimes even more space than what you would get in New York City, for this tiny little home on a trailer that you could move around to different spots. And it's beautiful. It's amazing. And you get so much space. And I even saw someone who lived in this really, really tiny apartment. I think it was not even 2 bedrooms, but I think it was a 1-bedroom apartment that morphed into it could house 5 people because of walls and things that were placed in the area. And I think our perceptions need to change.